Well, hello again and welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a Masterchef recipe. Now I bought this from a lovely friend of mine online, and there was the instructions missing from this one, and she put it in this lovely capsule because it's nicer for displaying things than the standard white round capsule that they come in. So I know what I'm doing with this one, but I just wanted to explain why there are no instructions. It's not a problem to me. So first of all, you clip the stand bottom into the stand and you have this lovely Masterchef branded stand. We have these lovely tweezers. We have some Greek yogurt. Is that gonna, there we go, Greek yogurt. We have some cake pieces and garnish. We have some chocolate sprinkles. We have some mango and pineapple pieces. And we have this beautiful parfait cup. So, without further ado, let's get on with this. So first things first, to open up the yogurt, just take the little seal off. Just going to rub that on the inside of there just so we can get as much out as we possibly can. There we are. So I'm just going to, just trying to think the best way of doing this. Yeah, I think I might put some cake pieces in the bottom. So these cake pieces are very beautiful, very nicely detailed. Really do love them. So I think what I might do is have 3 cake pieces in the bottom and then we'll have 1 on the top. It's completely up to you how you want to do it, but this is how I would like to do it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of Greek yogurt in the bottom of my parfait cup, like that. Let that just coat the bottom, just to make my cake pieces a bit easier. Give them a bit more of a chance of sticking down. Obviously we're going to be filling most of this cup with the Greek yogurt anyway, so if it goes up the sides a bit, it's not the end of the world. So let me just, do you know what, I'm just going to get my, where is my handy spatula? There it is. I'm just going to use my spatula just to help that a bit quicker. And there we are. And then I'm going to make sure that they're, I don't know actually, yeah. I'm going to do a couple, I'm going to do them in a different way I think. So this one I will have this way. Yeah, so from the side of the cup you'll be able to see a cake piece there. This one I'm going to do that way I think. So I'm just squeezing it right up against the side of the container so that when you look through you can see the cake. And then this one I think I will do, trying to think the best way of doing it. So that one's facing that way, so I'm going to face this one that way I think, like that. So as you can see, we can see all the cake pieces through the side, which is what I wanted. So I'm just going to pop my spatula on there. No, I'm not. I'm going to scrape that off there. And then grab my trusty plastic bag. Pop that on there, pop that on there. I'm just going to pop that into my lamp for 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, so that is now cured, so it's nice and hard. You can see the cake pieces through the side. So I'm just going to put some more Greek yogurt in there. Another dollop. Again, use the spatula to just distribute that. Make sure that's nice and evenly coated. Again, it doesn't really matter if you don't do a perfectly even coat because we're going to be covering it with more afterwards. But I just want to get that as coated as I possibly can. Okay, just scrape that off. And then I think we're going to do a piece of pineapple. Welcome back to my channel. A piece of pineapple there. Again, push that right up against the glass so that you can see that pineapple in there. Like that. A nice chunk of mango. Again, I'm going to pop that in here and just squeeze it right up against the glass. So that again, you can see that through the side. This looks like an amazing dessert. I'd love to have this in real life. Looks very tasty. Another bit of pineapple on this side. Pop that bubble, there we are. And squeeze that up against the side so we can see that through there. And then one more piece of mango. Just there. Just sort of lightly coating it in the yogurt just so that it doesn't look like it's, you know, out of place in any way. I think that looks too close to the cake. Let's pop you over this side, shall we? Does that look okay? I'm not really sure on that, to be honest. Tell you what, maybe we'll put the other piece of pineapple over here. Yeah, that looks better. So that chunk of pineapple, chunk of mango over there a bit, chunk of pineapple. Yeah, that looks way better. Yeah. Okay, so we can see that all the way around. Just going to scrape this off again. Pop that back under my lamp and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's all cured. So you can see all of the bits on the edge. So now we're going to put another dollop of the Greek yogurt in. I'm going to put quite a lot in this time. So I'm just going to leave that upside down. I'm going to retain some of it for doing the garnishes on the top, but I am going to put quite a lot in now, just to sort of fill that cup up, and then we'll do the next layer of fruit, and then we'll retain some of it for the top and retain some of the resin for the top as well. I don't know how much I'm going to get out of this, in honesty, because it's already getting quite hard to get out of there, but we will see what we end up with. I do love these Masterchef ones. I've made another couple, as you know. I made the grilled lamb with vegetables a while ago, and I have got another one to make at some point, so I'll be putting that on a video on here when I come to make that one. I am still missing quite a few of them, including a very special scented apple pie, which I'm very excited about getting my hands on at some point. But I do love the Masterchef ones. I think they're really lovely. They're based on actual recipes, which is quite nice, and yeah, just really like them. So then I'm going to retain that last little drop for the top. Give that a little bang just to make sure that there's no bubbles coming in. Okay, and then what do we want for the top? So we want that piece of cake and that garnish and the chocolate sprinkles. I might put some sprinkles in now. No, I'll use them on the top. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of pineapple and 2 pieces of mango on the top. So be careful. So I'm going to have 2 pieces of mango and 2 pieces of pineapple now to go on the edge. Just give that a little dab. And then we'll have a piece of pineapple. Come on. There we go. Have a piece of pineapple on the side here, I think. And then another piece of pineapple on the side here. And then a piece of mango here. I want them down into the Greek yogurt, but not too far down into the Greek yogurt. And I want them right up against that container. One more piece here. Yeah. Maybe not actually. There we go. Pop that bit over this side actually. Yeah, perfect. Okay. I'm gonna scrape that last bit off into there. Give that a cure and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's now cured. I think it's looking really sweet. So now we're just going to take what's left in here and coat that. I'm just going to use my spatula just to help that along, because it does sometimes need it. You do get a lot. You do get a lot. It doesn't look like you get a lot, but you do. Unfortunately, sometimes it gets stuck in there. So using your spatula just to help it get to the surface does help a lot. Come on. I know there's quite a lot. My sincerest apologies. My battery ran out. I was just saying before it ran out that I knew there was a lot left in the bottle, because as I was taking the spatula out, there was quite a lot coming off on the spatula. So what I did was to just continue scraping as much of the resin out of the Greek yogurt and putting it into this dish as I possibly could. So I think I've got absolutely everything I can possibly get out of that pot into that dish now. So with all of that there, I'm just going to put a couple of the chocolate sprinkles in. I'm going to take our last piece of cake and I'm going to pop that in on the top there. I'm going to take a piece of mango there, a piece of mango there, a piece of pineapple there, another piece of pineapple there, and then I'm going to take our little garnish and pop that on the edge here, like that. Pop all of that down a little bit, and then the last of the chocolate sprinkles just wherever they'll go. Okay. I'm so sorry about my phone battery. I normally make sure that that never happens on a video, but unfortunately it did on this occasion. So that's what that ends up looking like on top. So I'm just going to pop that back under the lamp for 2 minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, so that is now fully cured. I think it's turned out really nicely, especially considering the issues that I had regarding the Greek yogurt not coming out properly. But yeah, I think it's turned out really nicely. I'm really happy with that. I think it'll look quite cute on its little table there. Again, I am really sorry about the battery dying on my phone. In all the time I've had my phone, that's the first time I've ever allowed it to completely turn off, because I just did not realise that I had such little battery left. So apologies if it didn't seem very professional. I tried to be real on this channel and not heavily edit anything, and if I make a mistake I'm going to be leaving it in. So I'm just going to sort of have to splice these two halves together, but we have finished our parfait. So that's everything for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye.